History is not written by statues. It is written by men, imperfect, ambitious, and deeply human. We see them in marble, frozen in time, but in the summer of 1776, they were something else entirely. They were rebels. George Washington wasn't a legend yet. He was a man who knew the weight of failure, haunted by his early defeats. Thomas Jefferson was a man of quiet intellect, wrestling with the contradictions of liberty in his own library. What they were doing wasn't a debate, it was treason. The penalty, a hangman's noose. Benjamin Franklin, the printer and the diplomat, knew that if they didn't hang together, they would surely hang separately. John Adams didn't seek consensus. He sought independence. He was the engine that drove the room toward revolution. Alexander Hamilton, the immigrant with everything to prove, fueled by a restless hunger for a country that didn't exist yet. The colonies were divided, loyalists, patriots, and the vast majority who just wanted to be left alone. Independence wasn't inevitable, it was a choice made in taverns, churches, and town squares. James Madison was building the framework of a new world, one logical argument at a time. Patrick Henry's voice carried the fire of 1,000 hearts who were tired of being subjects. These men weren't unified by background, they were unified by character and by duty. They risked their property, their families, and their sacred honor. They knew the cost of failure. John Hancock signed with a flourish that said, "I am not afraid." In Philadelphia, the room was hot, the stakes were higher, and the clock was ticking. They argued, they shouted, they doubted. They were real people facing the impossible. George Mason reminded them that this wasn't just about taxes, it was about rights, inherent rights. There was no guarantee of victory, only the guarantee of a struggle that would define the next 2 centuries. Adams and Jefferson, friends, rivals, brothers in arms, their disagreements shaped the soul of the experiment. The word spread through pamphlets and newspapers. The idea of freedom was infectious. They weren't just fighting a king, they were fighting for the future of their children. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the decision that something else is more important. They left their homes, not knowing if they would ever return to see them again. 13 separate colonies, 3 million people, one desperate hope. The time for talk was over, the time for decision had arrived, the air in Philadelphia was heavy. In the taverns, men whispered of what was to come, some with fear, others with fierce determination. Some delegates hesitated. The weight of history was pulling at their sleeves. But the choice had already been made in their hearts. The world was about to change. They stood on the edge, and they chose to jump. Next time, the Declaration.